Retro or die.
Garnered among the retro gaming community to be one of the so-called worst NES games on the system due to the attention it got from the iconic reviews from the angry video game nerd.
But Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, as rare and obscure as it is, you play it once and you're haunted for life. I mean, I'm traumatized after playing it. I can't believe how bad it is. This game is fucking horrible! It's fucking horrible!
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde has seemed to be shoved into the back of people's gaming shelves and forgotten. Like many others, I saw the AVGN episode many years ago and had no idea that this game ever existed. But I thought to myself, how bad could this game really be? I mean, I've played a lot of bad NES games.
We were talking about Rambo. These were the movies where Stallone was probably in the best shape of his life. And imagine somebody blowing bubbles on him and him dying. How can you take one of the all-time action movies and turn it into a game and fuck it up so royally?
And the funny thing is, back in 2018, I was planning on doing a game review of this game. I actually was doing really well until the game froze. I was pissed. So I'm recording gameplay for this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde review. I'm doing very well in the game. Got through some very annoying parts. Just to have the game glitch during a Mr. Hyde segment and leave me with this nasty triggered sound effect. Take a look at this. This is where the game just decided to stop working. In the middle. And you listen to that? Do you hear that? Where is this at? At the 37 mark. Enough time has passed, and I'm finally over it. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is a side-scrolling action game developed by Advanced Communication Company and published by Bandai in the year 1988, and based off the 1886 novel The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. The plot of the game is widely said to be based off the 1886 novel, but in reality that is false. The plot actually is more based off the 1920 Paramount film. Dr. Jekyll is late for his wedding to Miss Millicent. Millicent? Millicent or Millicent? Miss Millicent or Miss Millicent? 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 Dr. Jekyll is late for his wedding to Miss Millicent, and along the way, for an unknown reason, it seems that the whole town is out to murder Jekyll. And not just the townfolk either. Dogs will attack him, birds will shit on him, and fat women will sing so horribly that it'll kill Jekyll if he hears more than a few notes. If that wasn't enough of a headache for Jekyll, he also has to deal with his darker alter ego, Mr. Hyde, coming forth upon him, which makes the game turn into a hellish nightmare of horrific creatures who want to kill you. I'll be honest here, this game is not easy. As for most NES games, this is all about endurance and learning patterns in order to succeed. Dr. Jekyll's levels are the hardest due to him having the most obstacles to overcome and being very underpowered, only equipped with the cane that we all know inspired the iconic lyric,
"Why the password so long? Why don't the weapons do anything? He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard."
For me, it makes sense that Dr. Jekyll would get his ass kicked. He's not an action star killing machine. He's a scientist. A mad one, yes, but still only a scientist, with a town of psychopathic neighbors who hate him. If Dr. Jekyll takes too much damage, his stress meter goes up, and when it's full, you turn into Mr. Hyde. The Mr. Hyde levels are a great way to break up the teeth-grinding monotony of pattern memorization and feeling like anything can kill you, to the polar opposite. Mr. Hyde is a killing machine. Much like when Rick Taylor from the Splatterhouse games puts on the terror mask and you go from meek to berserk. I compare the Mr. Hyde levels more to Castlevania because it's horror related, and Mr. Hyde comes with a projectile power called the Psycho Wave. Once you kill enough monsters, you end up turning back into Dr. Jekyll. The end goal is to reach the church for the wedding, but depending on how you played, the ending can be different because you can reach the church as Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde, resulting in a good or bad ending. The game is broken up into 6 varying stages. I must say I really like the way all of the levels and sprites of this game look. It's a good mix between Castlevania 2 and Zelda 2. Now, for as much hate and blatant ignorance this title gets, I can honestly say that I really like this game. Is it easy? Hell no. Is it broken to a point where it's unplayable and should be treated as a red-headed stepchild of the NES library? Hell no. Like I said, this game is hard, and the Dr. Jekyll levels can be a trial in patience. But the Mr. Hyde levels I feel give the game a great balance to what makes an NES game challenging. I feel this game has become an iconic symbol for a bad game due to its popularity from the Angry Video Game Nerd episodes. But I would say, for you as an individual, to purchase this game and make up your own mind on if it's good or not. On a scale of 1 to 5, I give Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde a 3. It's a fun title if you can muster up enough time to actually sit and play it. The music isn't memorable, but the levels and sprites are really good for 1988. And not to mention the iconic cover art and font, even if you don't like this game, draws you in because it looks so cool. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next game review. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at RetroOrDie. Have a good Halloween.